Hello and welcome. This episode features an Audi RS7 2016. First of all, let's start with the smart chart, just so we make sure we don't forget to look for anything. When shopping for a car, you need to go through the exterior condition, whether it's body, paint, or tire wear. Then check the engine condition. Might seem hard, but there is multiple easy clues, whether it's weird noises, smells, or smoke. Then there's the interior condition. Probably the easiest one there because it's mostly worn and dirty, but there's also some clues that can indicate crash and repair cases. We'll talk about those later. Then take it for a test drive. It's the only mean of communication for the car to express herself. Finally, check the mileage. It's the moment you're most familiar with the car. Keep in mind that there really is no way to be 100% sure a used car won't need any repairs. What I would like to share throughout my work is ways to minimize the risk and deal the best price as fairly as possible. So let's start with the exterior condition. You're looking for inconsistency in the paint job, panels that seems to be lighter or stronger in color than the rest of the car. Usually you need the sun to be shining bright in order to kind of see how the light plays on the paint. Now let's get our attention over the body condition. As always, this should be the most obvious part. When you're walking around the car, look for any dings, broken parts, scratches, rust, inconsistent alignment in between the hood, panels, bumpers, and doors. The carbon fiber rear bottom of the bumper is broken over here, and that usually cannot be fixed. The wheels and tires. First of all, look and see if all four tires are the same make and model. Then take a penny and insert it in between the tire tread. It will give you a rough estimation. And finally, check the rims for scratches, pothole damage, and faded paint. Mechanical component. Now this car features very access to components such as front axle, ball joints, lower table. Even if you're not a mechanical expert, you can still look for anything unusual. If anything seems torn, broken, rusted, and if you're not sure, you can always compare the right and the left components. They look exactly the same. the headlamps and tail lights. Check and see if the headlamps are becoming blurred and yellow. This is common with non-UV treated transparent plastic. With time and sunshine, they slowly degrade. This means either the car was sitting too long facing the sun, or the car has spent most of its life on the road. This is why sometimes yellow blurred headlamp can give you a rough estimation on the actual mileage. Moving on to the engine condition. Start it up and listen. Ideally, a cold start is the best way for checking an engine. If it's too rough, you know it's usually packing a big load of mileage. And try and listen for any weird ticking sounds, odd rattle, or knocking noise. Exhaust gas color. Meanwhile, check the colored gas coming out of the exhaust. Is there any oil as well? Since you're inside the engine bay, it's the right time to check for rusted engine components. Usually when a car is not driven for a long time, either because it has been into an accident waiting to be repaired, or because it's simply not being driven enough. Some parts, as well as engine parts, tend to accumulate surface rust. So look around for rusted engine parts as well as rusted frame and engine bay panels. Let's move on to the third part from the investigation, interior condition. Look for any interior wear mark. This kind of cars, the mileage plays a big part in their values. So what we need to do is find clues all around that can justify the mileage. Look for any unusual wear and tear on the steering wheel, seats, switches. Any unusual condition could be caused by excessive use, which should indicate a relatively high mileage. We talked earlier about clues indicating a crash and repair case. It's mainly the seat belts mixed with black mechanic kind of dirt. When a car gets into the hands of a cheap money-making mechanic, you'll most probably find black mechanic dirt all around the interior. Granted, it doesn't mean the car was crashed. The car might simply be in for cheap maintenance. A crash and repair case is most usually given away by the seat belts. See, seat belts are made in a specific way so they lock when the car gets into a crash, and they have to be replaced. They are kind of expensive to buy directly from the dealer because they usually come as a full kit because of safety measures, which makes it the perfect black market item, usually stolen parts. This is where it gets interesting. Parts on the black market aren't handled with all due care and attention. Once they have been removed from stolen cars, they are basically thrown away, waiting for customers. Meanwhile, those parts accumulate dirt, rust, and all kind of nasty stuff. The weird part is that nobody bothered cleaning them up. In this case though, the seat belts are crystal clean. All good. Moving on to windows and sunroof. Check if all the windows are working properly, open them up and close them down. Now those are frameless door windows. Usually those windows are pre-programmed from factory to roll a little bit down every time you open the door in order to clear away from the roof. So check them up, make sure they're working well. Don't forget to check if the windshield wipers show any malfunction. Don't forget to check and see if there is any cluster light indicating needed maintenance. Now it's time for a test drive. I would suggest to drive it in city roads until it heats up, then take it on the highway. Make sure the radio is turned off and ask the salesman to remain quiet so you can focus on the car. After going through that smart chart thoroughly, you really should begin to have an idea on the actual mileage of the car, so check it out at the very end of your investigation. If the shown number makes you uncomfortable, walk away or try and get the best deal as fairly as possible. I'll thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed. Whether you're looking to buy or to be entertained by nice car footage, be sure to subscribe and scroll through my channel, there's much more stuff about cars. Take care and goodbye.